It's your favorite South Florida realtor, Lucica Suarez, talking about this whole NAR shakeup. So let me explain what typically happened before this whole NAR settlement. So normally when a home seller put their home on the market, they negotiate their commissions and say, hey, I want to pay you this, that, and the third. And whatever that commission is, the listing agent would split it with the buyer's agent. And we did that because to attract more buyers and kind of to move the property a little bit quicker. So what was happening in Missouri, the home sellers were actually kind of put into a monopoly. There was Berkshire Hathaway, Home Services, Keller Williams, and Anywhere Realty Real Estate, and also Remax. They actually settled out of court, so there was only three defendants, including three defendants plus NAR. And so what was happening, these brokerages were basically taking the negotiating power out of the equation for the home seller, and they were kind of forced to pay higher commissions. And it was kind of a monopoly. So if I would go to this brokerage, it was like, no, 6% is what it is. If I go to this brokerage, no, 6% of what it is. And so they were forced to pay these high commissions, even though everywhere else, commissions have always been negotiable. So they just took that negotiating power away from those home sellers. And it was kind of like, kind of like a monopoly, which is kind of like antitrust, anti-competitive, which is not the capitalistic way. So that's what happened. And before people go, oh, crazy, these home sellers are making it hard, just to give you perspective, the average home price in Missouri is $237,000. So it's not like these millionaires, these were just average working class people. And when they realized that they were kind of like, being a monopoly, they, consulted some very savvy lawyers and then got their money. And I'm not mad about that, because if they were in fact defrauded, then they need to be paid. So I'm not mad about this whole settlement. I'm not mad about those people getting money. I do feel like NAR could have done a better job of PR. Like, yes, this was happening with these people, but this is not the grand total, because most agents outside of that little area, most agents nationwide are not trying to take advantage of people. We really do want to help you. And I do want to add, Deco Realty was not a part of that. But anyways, my point is, these people were not being greedy. They really were being taken advantage of. And I absolutely am not mad about these people getting their money back, because they absolutely deserve their money back. And I have some experience with one of the defendants in this case, and I can tell you there was a lot of truth to what I read about some of the practices that they were employing. So all that to say, things are going to be a little bit different. So what happens, they are decoupling, which means we're not publicly posting what buyers agents will get. Now, does that mean the split will, home sellers will not be paying buyers agents? That's not what that means. That just means it won't be posted. And of course, listing agents are going to educate their clients about what's the best practices, and they're moving forward. And another thing that I kind of think is a good thing is now buyers they have to have a written agreement just in case, hey, I don't have any commissions on this particular home that I'm showing you. You are now responsible for that. That is the biggest change. A lot of people are scared of it, but I kind of have a different perspective. I feel like for those home sellers that are not offering a high compensation enough for it to be split, I feel like buyers in those situations have a lot more negotiating power, because if you're not paying my agent and I have to pay my agent is going to go to bat for me, and they're going to negotiate this, that, and third. You're probably going to have to cover closing costs now. You're probably going to have to cover this in order to sell your home. So although it does seem kind of, a lot on the buyers, I don't think this is all bad news. And for the agents that would show buyers 1,700 homes, and then this buyer would be like, okay, I've changed my mind. Now they get to have their time preserved, because now, you're not lugging people around kind of wasting your time with tire kickers anymore. So now buyers who are in the market are probably going to be a lot more serious. And then I feel like buyers would definitely have more negotiating power. So I don't think this is scary. Yes, it sucks, but those who are going to survive, they're going to adapt, figure out ways, and then keep it pushing. Those who are going to scare, they're going to scare out of the market, and they're going to find something else to do. So that is my take on it. I just think it's just like the banking industry, and we adapted with the banking industry when they had all the regulations of after, the predatory lending. You know what they're still doing? Lending. Just like when the car companies had all these new EPA regulations that they had to follow and all this other, you know what they're doing? Still making cars. So I just think that agents who are not afraid of the change, they're going to embrace the change, figure out a way to adapt, and keep it pushing. Those who are not, they're just gonna fall in other industries. And I'm not afraid. Nothing in this world stays the same. So it's just like any other industry. So I'm not afraid of change. It's just going to be interesting to see, how things are gonna go moving forward from here. So that's my take.